Hello, everyone, and welcome to the program. This is Sunday Politics on Channels Television. I'm Sean Wakimaloye in Lagos. It has been 1 week of interesting events in the country, and things happened pretty fast. So President Buhari removed the service chiefs and appointed new officers to take charge. The new commanders were told by the president that we are in a state of war and all eyes are on them and all hands must be on deck. This emphasizes the need for them to deliver on the promises of the Buhari government of 5 years ago of keeping Nigeria safe as one of the top priorities. Although about 2 days after the announcement of the new service chiefs, the president transmitted a request for confirmation of the service chiefs, a requirement by the law, which some lawyers have argued that it should have come first before the announcement. But the service chiefs appear to have hit the ground running today, although the appointment still pending National Assembly confirmation. Today they were in Maiduguri, the capital of Borno State. Their visit to Borno, according to them, is as a result of public outcry and also to access the soldiers to help them re-strategize. According to the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Rabo, their target is to bring insurgency in Nigeria to an end. For those who are asking for the change of guard within the military hierarchy and the top brass, of course, that is what you have now seen that the president has done. So what is the next line of action? Of course, this is perhaps a good step, as a lot of people have come out to comment on what the president has done. But going forward, the task before the service chiefs is daunting, isn't it? From the north-central region of the country to the northwest to some of the southwest of the country, and in fact the northeastern region of the country where insurgency is rife, the service chiefs really have a lot on their table. Tonight, I will be speaking with one of those who have spoken loudly about the last set of commanders, the service chiefs. He wanted them removed, he wanted a change of guard. Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, is a guest tonight on the program. He joins us from Port Harcourt. Thank you, Your Excellency, Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, for joining us tonight on the program. And let's begin the conversation. It's a matter that a lot of Nigerians were talking about. You didn't mince words when you were asking for the removal or the change of guard as far as the service chiefs were concerned. But now that there are new service chiefs, what would you say, or what is your first, what's your comment on the president's action?
So let me thank you most sincerely for giving me this opportunity to maybe talk to Nigerians about the removal of the service chiefs and what we expect from those who have been appointed. And you must understand very clearly that I'm not one of those who begin to sing hallelujah to those who have been appointed or to those who have been removed. January 15th, which was of the Armed Forces Memorial Day, I did say, now, Mr. President, of course, whether you like it or not, a lot of Nigerians have lost confidence in them. Even within the military, there's so much confusion, and it is important they must listen to the Nigerians and even those serving the military. And like I said, when you do the right thing, I will always commend you. If you don't do the right thing, I will criticize you. And I have nothing personal about it. It has nothing to do with politics. So Mr. President has done what every Nigerian had expected he should have done. Yes, he did not do it on time, but he has done it. So we're happy that he did it. Having done it, what is the next step? The next step is, look, you that have been appointed, what is the agenda? What are your plans to make sure that security architecture is improved? And I have commended Mr. President for listening, probably for the first time, to Nigerians. And whether anybody likes it or not, He did. And we should commend him for that. Having commended him for that, even though he came late, now, those that he had appointed, what is expected of them? Very, very serious. Very, very serious. They must understand that the challenges are enormous, and so they have a lot of work to do. They should not confine themselves to politics. Part of the problems we had with the former savages, that they were involved in politics instead of concentrating in security of the nation. They were very much involved in politics. Nobody can deny that fact. Nobody can deny that fact. The moment you politicize security, then you are bound to have problems. Take, for example, why I said they were so much involved in politics. So many states were setting up own security outfit. The chief of army staff allowed it. He never one day said, look, we cannot allow this. But he allowed it. When it was still, even by law, allowed us to say we should set up neighborhood watch to give intelligence to the security agencies on how we can nip on the board if there's any problem. The former chief of staff, General Buratai, came into politics. Even when we wrote to the army, we wrote to the police. Not even we wrote to the police and the Department of State Security. They were the ones training the people. But the former chief of staff, what did he do? He came into politics and went in NYSC camp where they were being trained and sent his boys to make sure that did not happen. Can you be operating an illegal organization in a federal government owned organization? The former chief of army staff did that. He did that, but it's okay. It's okay. We don't, like I've told everybody who cares to hear, today, whatever you want to do, you owe a duty to Nigerians to say, look, I agree. Mr. President appointed me. However, I took oath of office and oath of allegiance to respect, to obey the Constitution of Nigeria. And you must keep to that. So the former chief of staff was involved in politics, and that was why we had the problem. But let me also go further to say, the new people have been appointed. Yes, they have been appointed, but they should tell themselves, what's our agenda? It's our agenda to continue with where the last savage chiefs stopped, or to make sure we improve, if at all there was any success in the debate. If at all, it's it for us to make sure that they improve on what the people have done. It's not for them now, having come now, oh, hallelujah, hooray, I've been appointed Chief of Defense Staff, I've been appointed Chief of Army Staff, I've been appointed Chief of Air Staff, I've been appointed Chief of Naval Staff. That is not it. What is important is, what are you bringing in to assure Nigerians that, look, we have this opportunity given to us, and therefore there must be a difference. And what would that difference be? The difference would be, yes, yesterday we have had 200 people who are killed, for example. Today, what we have had, 50 people killed. People will not say, they are doing something. From 200, it has reduced to 50. Then tomorrow, it has reduced to 20. The next day, it reduced to 10. Then Nigeria will begin to have confidence in you that yes, these people they brought now are willing to fight insecurity in this country. And that's my own. It's not a question of whether they have changed and which we are happy. Because Nigerians have lost confidence, and they did lose confidence in the former service chiefs. Now they have appointed new one, even though belated, but the president has done it. Now, for you that have been given this opportunity, what agenda do you have? What guarantees, what promises are you giving to Nigerians to say, look, we don't want to lose the confidence the president has reposed on us. We don't want to make sure that Nigerians don't have confidence in us, like they have not did that, like they lost confidence in the former services. So you, what are you going to do?
Governor Wike, let me quickly ask you this. And the president said a few days ago, and these are the words of the president. I know you're a leader of the opposition, and opposition naturally will see the wrong in the government of the day. But this is what the president said. The president said, quote, those criticizing the administration should be fair in terms of reflecting on where we were before we came, where we are now, and what resources are available to us, and what we have done with the limited resources. He went further to say we had to struggle with paying debts, investing in road repairs, and rebuilding to revamp the rail and try to get power. These are some of the words of the president. He went specifically to say this is what I hope the elites they want when they want to criticize we use to compare notes. Is it fair to the manner in which you've spoken about the administration and the handling of security from the point of view of the president? Is it fair?
With all due respect to Mr. President, and I will continue to say so, I don't think Mr. President was right in that statement. And we must tell ourselves the simple truth. I've always said so. And you know, the problem we have in this country, right? When you criticize what Mr. President has done, is not right. People who come out to play politics, those of them, I don't know what they get, but it's unfortunate. But you know me very well. I'll speak my mind. I'll speak how it affects the people of the state. As far as the issue of security is concerned, Mr. President cannot say, with all due respect, that what it was as and when he came in and what is now, that it is better. No, that would not be fair. That would not be fair. Mr. President knows the truth of the matter. Take, for example, some of us from another data, the governor who have opposed the fact that, look, you took $1 billion from the ESA school to fund the military, to fight insurgency. $1 billion today is not less than 450 billion naira to buy armaments in order to fight insurgency. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Going from Abuja to Kaduna, how many hours? Look at the insurgency, look at the banditry. How can we talk that? People must face the reality. I've also told people, it does not matter. Even though I'm one governor, that the federal government has always fought from day one, that does not mean that I will not say the truth. The day Mr. President approved through the Executive Council of the reform which has been done to other states, which have been given to other states, I came out clearly and thanked him. Even though his media people use it against me, I have no apologies to that. I will speak the truth and not more. As far as this issue is concerned, Mr. President cannot tell Nigeria that as of 2015, what we had in 2015 and today, that is better. No, I don't agree. I will not agree to that. It's not correct.
So, but how would you describe the situation of things now, Governor Wike?
It has gone bad, very bad. Everybody knows insecurity has taken to the level where Nigerians are saying, change the services. Okay, if it was good, why would Nigerians, even in his party, APC, say, look, the insecurity has gone to a level where we cannot bear it again. Remove the service chiefs. Not only me. Not only me. People in the Senate, the National Assembly, they said so. If it has gone better, why would anybody say, remove the service chiefs? No. If things were good, if things are going well, nobody would even raise any issue to say, remove the service chiefs. Do you remove somebody when things are good? No. It's not correct.
Governor, let me allow you for a moment. I'd like you to listen to the Minister of Information when he was speaking a few days ago, and he said things have actually gone better in terms of security. Take a listen to Alhaji Lai Muhammad, the Minister of Information.
Troops have also rescued a total of 17 kidnapped victims across the country. If I can say, in all honesty, whether the situation in the country today is better than when we met it. And I have no hesitation in saying yes. Yes, we have challenges, like we have all over the world. And we are rising up to those challenges. But to say that Nigeria is not is less safe than 2015 is not correct.
Governor Wike, you heard the minister there. How do you react to his comment on the situation of security in the country?
It's most unfortunate. Now, you, Sharon, let me ask you. How many Nigerians have never accepted the comments or the action of my senior brother, Lai Mohammed? How many people? How many people? It is unfortunate. Lai Mohammed is one of the people I respect. But you see, politics have changed people. You want to have a position, an appointment, you no longer be whom you are or whom people think you are. It's unfortunate. And I can tell you, he felt the note from his heart, was it really the truth? He knows it's not correct. How can Lai Mohammed say the security in this country as of 2015 and today, that today is better than 2015? That's a bit unfair. And that's what I don't like. You know, when you are given an appointment, you owe a duty to defend the plan, or defend the government, or defend the party who gave the appointment. But Lai Mohammed cannot, even from his bedroom, to tell his wife, to tell his children, look, what I said is correct. He knows this is politics. It's not fair. And that's why Nigeria is not getting right. Look at the advanced countries. Look at people who worked under Trump. They come out to say, look, I cannot stand this. Even my parents, who was the vice president under Trump, he said, look, Mr. President, I agree, but I cannot do this. But in Nigeria, because you are serving somebody appointed you, whatever he does or she does is right. Lai Mohammed cannot in his conscience say, and to take oath as a Muslim, to say, my children, what I'm telling you today is that if I'm lying under the Quran, that what I'm saying today is not correct, let me die. Lai Mohammed cannot say that. With all due respect, he can't say that. But see, politics is to everything. Even where you are saying that the house where you are living is submerged. You say, no, it's not submerged. It's that I pump in water. But that's what we see in politics. And then Nigeria for you.
Governor Wike, let's take a breather. We'll take a break now. We'll come back and continue the conversation with the Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, on the state of the nation. But before we go on that break, let me remind you or show you, in case you did not catch it, on our Did You See That? Today, confusion and scuffle broke out on Thursday at the venue of the public hearing on the Petroleum Industry Bill (PIB) as members of host communities broke into a fire. The fire broke out when the host communities of Nigeria producing oil and gas were called to the podium to make a presentation at a public hearing which was held at the House of Representatives in the National Assembly complex. Up next on the program, our conversation with the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, continues. We switch gears to talk about the Nigerian elections and how we can fix the devil in it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us right here on Sunday Politics on Channels Television. Our conversation with the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, continues. He joins us from Port Harcourt, the capital of Rivers State. Thank you, Your Excellency, Governor Nyesom Wike, for talking to us tonight. Let me ask you, importantly so too, because the challenge that we have and the problem, the problems are daunting. Every day we keep hearing some of these issues. Recently, in the southwest region of the country, we're hearing that there is some infiltration in the forest of the southwest, and the governors there are speaking up. You are a chief security officer in your state. Your colleague, governor in Taraba State, is asking for an urgent implementation in fixing the constitution of Nigeria, that there should be state policing. But let me ask you, you have talked about the service chiefs. What do you think is the urgent step that must be taken by the federal government that has the power and has those duty and the national security in ensuring that some of these security problems are resolved?
Well, first of all, you have to ask yourself, is the federal government sincere and they serious about making sure that security in all the states? If you ask me, I will say no. You see, we must understand when people play politics. The federal government is not sincere about it. And what I've said today, I can tell you I'll be victimized about it tomorrow. But again, one has to speak his mind, one has to speak up to say, look, this is not the way the country must move. The government will always tell you, look, our concern is to make sure that we provide security for this country. Fine. That is what they will say. Now, how have they made sure that that provision for the security of lives and property in each state, to make sure that people are confident and have confidence and trust what the federal government has said? I have told you here, take for example, we came up under the Security Council came up with a proposal to say, look, in order to help the security agencies that are a kind of incapacitated in terms of manpower, and they came and look, we must form a neighborhood watch to give us intelligence to help us to work. That was the decision of Security Council, not my decision, not party decision. Now we went ahead to nominate or to appoint people who are even retired security officers. In fact, today I've lost the chairman of that, who was a brigadier general in the army. Brother if I from Ogubolo government, but today it's no longer there. Now it went to House of Assembly. Assembly approved it. Now we appointed these people. We wrote to the army. We wrote to the SSS. We wrote to the police to make sure they profile those who have applied to help in terms of security, and they all certified them. We did not only end there. It's okay. We wrote to National Youth Service Commission, NYSC. We want to use their institution. We want to use their place to make sure these people are trained. So it will not look like if you are training militants or whatever. And they agreed. The police was involved, SSF was involved. What happened? the former chief of army staff, General Buratai, sent his men from the C division to make sure that it never took place, to arrest all of them. And they did. And they arrested them. Detained them. Now when you are talking about policing, security police, what is it? What are we doing? Or what were we doing that the army had to come in? The army has so much involved themselves in politics. So what the federal government is saying and the actions are different things. And I cannot be misled to believe that the federal government was actually doing community policing. That is politics. And I don't want anybody to mislead me. I don't want anybody to try to deceive me that what the federal government today is saying that they mean it. It's not correct. They don't. They don't.
But Governor Wike, I know that you declared curfew in some part of Rivers State. You are equally facing some security challenges in your state. So it's part of the larger picture. As a security officer in your state, what are the solutions you think will be good in fixing some of the security situation we face in the country, especially in Rivers State?
Let me tell you the truth of the matter. If you want to face the truth of the matter, if you want this country to move forward, it's important that the states must take control of security apparatus of that state. Because first of all, I know the local governments, I know the communities, I know the families. So I should be able to say, this is what we should do in policing this area. Therefore, the need for community policing is necessary. But what is my problem is that federal government comes up to say yes, they will support community policing. We have just supported it. The police itself will say, oh, we are interested in community policing. Now, let me tell you what happened in my state. They said they want to do community policing. And then they called traditional rulers to look in their own cooperation. How do they do this? Okay, can we have people from you? Do you know, in my state, I would have said, I will not be a party to it. They can do whatever they want to do. Every name submitted by traditional rulers, local governments, the police changed everything. Changed everything. It became political. And that's why I said, when once you play politics, or you bring politics into the security of a state, of a country, what we are suffering today will continue to suffer it. Nobody can run away from it.
I know, Governor, you're in the South region. Some of you governors, because in the Southwest, there's Amatekun, the South governors are also thinking about security outfit. When will that come on stream?
That is not important. I will not let the cat out of the bag. There's a body that are working on it. I'm not the chairman of the governors in the South. It is the position of the governor to come out to tell you, we are ready now, this is our outfit, and what it is. So don't rush. Yes, the Southwest have come out, Amotokun. We are coming up with something, but not in my position to let the cat out of the bag. Okay. It will be done.
Okay.
And the governor will announce to the world. It's not my position to announce.
Okay. So, but I mean, just in a few seconds, so that because I like you to also touch on a few other issues burden on the state of the nation. So, just to wrap up on the issue of national security, as a chief security officer of your state, a lot of people have been asking for restructuring, which birthed the conversation about state policing. If there is one urgent step or decision that must be taken in that light, what would that be, Governor Wike? Just in 30 seconds before we move into other issues.
Let me also correct one impression. I said I'm the chief security officer. I'm not. I'm the chief logistic officer of the state, not chief security officer. No governor. It doesn't matter how they claim they are. Okay, maybe APC governors are chief security officers. I don't know any governor that can claim authoritatively that they are chief security officer. They are not. They may say so. I will say so. I am not. I'm only chief logistics officer of the state. When it comes to giving logistics to the state, to the security, I am. But whether do I know? Am I in control of the security of my state? I'm not. So it will be wrong for you to say, I'm a chief security. I am not a chief security officer. I'm a chief logistics officer. So have that in mind. Now, the next thing you ask is about state police. And I've told Nigerians and I've told people, if you're afraid of having state police, take for example, you say governors will abuse it. Are you also telling me that now the federal government is in charge of the police, so they're also abusing it, and which is correct? All over the world, local counties or local councils have their own police. The states have their own police. Federal government have their own police. Now, areas of jurisdiction are divided. What functions do you perform? It's like, for example, in the states, you have Judicial Service Commission that recommends who will be a judicial officer as a judge to the National Judicial Council. National Judicial Council sits as a look. This one will approve. This one will not approve. Why? Or will come to the governor of the state. The Judicial Service Commission takes responsibility as a first magistrate in the state and chairman of the customary courts. So I don't see why anybody would say, if you have state police, that the governors will abuse it. Now, are you not telling me, oh, we are right when we say that the federal government should not abuse it? You take, for example, Mr. President, as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, as the president of the country, he appoints the IG. Therefore, he also abuses it. No. We cannot run away from the truth. The functions must be divided.
All right.
For local councils, these are their functions. For states, these are their functions. For certain crimes, the federal government function. Nobody can run away from it. But that cannot mean for you now to say, because I'm a governor of a state, I will abuse if we have state police. Why do you have the courts? It's unfortunate. Right. Nobody wants to have the confidence in these institutions.
All right, because I wanted to touch on some other issues, let's quickly move. The National Assembly is in the process of amending the Electoral Act, and several areas which are gray are being worked upon, like electronic transmission of results, cost of nomination forms in the political parties, and several other issues. We'll let Governor Wike to weigh in on some of these issues. But before I get you into that conversation, Governor Wike, first and foremost, let me hear from you. Take a look at some of these pictures. There were posters of an advertisement of your intentions for contesting for presidency in 2023. And these are in Abuja. Have you begun campaigns of Governor Wike?
There are issues or there are matters I don't discuss. You've heard from my Commissioner of Information that people should disregard all those kind of information that would have to distract me. You know, the problem came when we started commissioning projects. Since December last year to this period, we are commissioning. So people are now believing by the commission of projects, he may have intention to run for president. They have money to print posters for me. I thank them for telling Nigerians that they want me to run for president. I have never one day. No Nigerian can say, I have never met him, discussed with him, that I want to run for president. That does not mean I'm not a qualified person. But I've never come out to say, I want to run. They fear because of what we are doing. So they say, look, from what this man is doing, it's like he may have interest in running for president. And that's the problem we have in this country, and which is bad. I've never told anybody I want to run, but I'm not shying away from anything. If I want to run for president, it's my right. And I cannot run away from that if I want to run for president, I will not run. No. Nobody can tell me, nobody can intimidate me. It's not possible. But I've never come out to say, hold on, Shehu. I've never come out to say, and I didn't say that I want to run for president. I've never gone to print any poster. People who are afraid, who have money to print posters for me, I thank them for telling Nigerians that this man should be the one that should run for president. I have never. I'm focused on my. In fact, in the next 2 weeks, we'll start another round of project commissioning. In that case, they will also print other one, not only in Abuja, it will be the one in Nigeria. So I will not make relevant people who don't even know what it is to be a president of Nigeria. Let one Nigerian come out to say, I met him. I met him one day and said, look, I want to run for president. Help me. Let one Nigerian, let one person come out to say, Mr. Wike met me. In course of our discussion, see what he said. I think from our discussion, it's like he's interested. Let one Nigerian come out. So you don't need to bother yourself about all those things. Ordinarily, I shouldn't bother myself, and I will not. And I've never, I told my country of information. For your purposes of information, just discard them. But that cannot distract me. I'm not interested in that. I'm not. I'm not a Nigerian. I'm not a Nigerian. I'm a foreigner. But if you are saying that Wike is qualified to be a president, okay. But I have not told you that I want to run for president. I'm not interested in that. I'm not saying anything. My business is to continue delivering the dividends of democracy for the people of River State. And that's what's going on. People are shocked. What's happening? We have COVID-19 pandemic. States are not working. Why is River State working? What are people talking about? Every day, people are coming, commission one project, commission this project. So what's going on?
All right, Governor, before we go on our next break, and that's, I'm being told that it's just a few seconds. I know you ran for election twice, so you understand Nigeria's election. They're working on amending the law. Just in about 60 seconds, if you can tell us, what do you think is important for the lawmakers to focus on in fixing Nigeria's election?
But it's very clear. The lawmakers also know. The problem we have is that everybody is always thinking about himself. I want to be Senate president. How do I be president next time? I want to be governor of the state. How do I become governor of the state? Okay, what I'm going to do is to make sure the electoral act or the amendment of the electoral act goes this way or that way. We all know what happened. Why did the president not sign the amendment in the last Senate? Why? Because APC as a party have decided, Mr. President, look, if you sign this amendment, you are likely to lose this election. Therefore, don't sign. And Mr. President, don't sign it. I'm not carried away about amendment of the National Assembly coming up. I'm not carried away. They all know what to help this country to move forward. One, make the election to be transparent. How do you make it transparent? One thing you must do is to make sure the votes count. How will the votes count?
All right.
Any vote that has no backing from the what do you call the electronic from the candidate cannot be counted. It cannot be counted. But they refused it because they know they wanted to manipulate the election of 2019. If you want Nigeria to move forward, if you don't want the military, the army, which brutal use against me in this state, if you don't want any rigging, then you must allow the candidate.
All right.
Yes, in River State, vote one. Where's the candidate? Where is the vote? How? You have the candidate 10. You are bringing vote of 500. How did it come about? That's the only way you can allow a credible.
All right, Governor Wike. Yeah. I must sincerely thank you for your time tonight. Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, thank you indeed for your time and for talking to us on China's television tonight.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. We see gears now, and we will be speaking with a security consultant and a former military officer. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we look at a task before the service chief. He's going to be talking to us professionally now about the issues of intelligence and what strategy they must take on in winning the battle. That's next, everyone. Join us again. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. Let's take a further look into the issues of national security as it's a concern, the service chiefs and the strategy that the president had employed in the past few years with his set of commanders. Now we have a change of guard. We have a former military officer, Colonel Hassan Stanlabo, who is a security consultant. He joins us here in the studio to give us a sense of what to expect from these new commanders. Thank you, Colonel Stanlabo, for talking to us tonight.
Oh, thank you, Sean.
Let's begin. We saw the new commanders. They are in the war front. They said they wanted to meet the soldiers, and they wanted to also have access to them and also be able to look at things differently going forward. Although the appointment is pending until the National Assembly confirms them. But if you look at it, a lot of people have asked for an overhaul. You are one of those who have asked on this program a few times. You have asked for an overhaul, that the president should do that. What's your immediate reaction to president's action?
Thank you so much, Sean. As a matter of fact, I was thinking this would have been an opportunity for the president to go quite far, quite deep in an attempt at what we've always talked about, overhauling the entire architecture. But whatever the case, I think it is the style of the administration to always do things in very slow pace and so on. And well, like we have seen in the last 5 years, this slow pace has not been paying us. And frankly speaking, I must say Nigeria is a country in a haste. Unfortunately, it appears those who are prevailing over our affairs don't seem to realize that Nigeria is a country in a haste. We should be playing the catch-up with other countries in nearly every aspect of life. Unfortunately, well, those who are driving the Nigerian boats don't see that way.
So you're not impressed by these new appointments?
The appointment zone, I'm impressed, though it came belatedly, but better late than never. All the same, with the new hands we have now, you would agree with me, there is this feeling of, look, a new birth, sort of, all over the country now. And because of that, expectations, of course, are heaping on these fresh gentlemen who have just come in. I'm so happy for their appointment. I wish them the very best in office. I would want to advise they don't step on some of the pitfalls which their predecessors, found themselves in, so that they can move on and at a fast pace. And I'm impressed they're already in Maiduguri after today.
So when you say overhaul, what do you mean? Because service chiefs, there are 4 of them that have been replaced. You wanted more to go?
To me, it's as if we are. Yes, of course, I wanted more appointments within the security cut-off point to go. Yes. To me, I have a strong feeling that we are underusing the NSA where he is. The gentleman who is the NSA is a fine senior officer, somebody we so admire in the military. But it appears Nigeria is not using him adequately. He is so gagged in that office, I guess because he's sitting in the midst of politicians or what have you. A situation where, may he so rest in peace, the late Kiare had problems with him and so on because he wanted to usurp part of his powers and so on. If only Oga Mongono can be allowed to really express himself, we will see the NSA at work. Fine. If it turns out that way, because of politics that is being played, he cannot be allowed to express himself, can we move him where we can really get the best out of him. We are wasting that gentleman in that seat.
All right, because
Okay?
Colonel, you are
I
a
just don't
professional.
want to start mentioning appointments which I think he could have been moved into, so that individuals don't think, oh, this man does not want me in my seat. He wants his godfather or whatever it is to come over here.
But you really want the top brass to have gone aside the four that were removed, including the NSA. Maybe that's what you're saying.
Of course,
because
and even some of the other security was the IG still doing. Okay, Atlanta is going by tomorrow, and so on. Okay, that top would have been cleared, and not just been cleared. That brings me to one point. Frankly, if I was the president, my chief of defense staff would have been a brigadier, not even a very senior brigadier.
why so?
I want you to go right down. The more down you go, the more radical chaps you pick. Dear devils.
But Colonel Sanlabo,
Okay.
let's look at this from this point of view. The NSA that you mentioned, interestingly, is duty, from what I know, and is to advise the president based on global monitoring, collection, and processing of information, data of foreign and domestic intelligence, counterintelligence, in fact, is the master of intelligence and
the engine room
of intelligence.
Yes,
and
national
is
security.
absolutely. So that's what I understand. But a lot of people say this, about 60% of this insurgency could have been won by intelligence.
Yes.
Some of your colleagues, professionals, have said we
Yes.
have a problem with intelligence.
Yes.
So how would you react to some of these issues?
That is why I am saying we are underusing General Mongunu where he is. I wish the president can find out what is the matter and give this man a free hand. He is being gagged. Look, asymmetric warfare is driven by intelligence, my brother.
Would you say that has been successful for Nigeria?
It has not been successful because I'm
failed?
not seeing intelligence at play.
If it's not successful,
I'm not seeing technology at play. I'm not seeing intelligence at play. Easter, where is Easter? Intelligence, surveillance, and so on. Where is it?
But there is Operation Safe Corridor. How about that? Has that worked?
My brother, can we just pray that, look, now we have a new phase beginning. Now, can we all just say, all right, enough is enough. Let's be serious to bail out this country from the situation we find ourselves? Fine. Let's sit down, do a real assessment or risk assessment. Okay? Look at what we think we need, what's our capability on ground, and so on. And begin to see how we give this support, these service chiefs, to give us a success story. Because frankly speaking, the fact that we have changed them is not yet enough. To me, it's a cautious optimism. It is a cautious optimism. Now, because right now, fine, they have come on board, but I hope you know they are still playing within the same environment. Same equipment are still there. Same deficit in terms of manpower and so on.
Nothing has really changed.
Nothing has really changed. So our expectations of greater change can only come into play when we are able to avail them all the deficits.
I mean, interacting with the intelligence community, some of them were not happy. For example, the U.S., there is a special force from the United States that came to rescue American citizens on Nigerian soil in Borno State. And when people within the intelligence committee speak about this kind of situation, they were very sad about the issue of intelligence as relating to the Nigerian military.
Why were they sad?
About the fact that the kind of situation or the kind of operation that America carried out on Nigerian soil, Nigeria lacked that kind of expertise.
Thank you, my brother. We've got the men that can do that. Look, have you seen our special forces guys at work? But the point I keep making is this. Let us, for Christ's sake, be ready to pump in money into... If it was the last administration, when I mean administration, I mean the last chaps of a set of service chiefs, I would have said, don't pump any further money. Keep it where it is. Until we change service chiefs, you bring in money for us to fund this ongoing war. My emphasis is on technology. We are all talking about the US coming in and performing some magic and so on. Have you read the entire story and see what equipment they were on board on and what they used and so on? We need to acquire most of these things. You send our special forces elements are brought to train. They train with all this equipment and so on. You come back home, you need to acquire them, but you see somebody who is completely ignorant about what is going on will be telling you about how the military should go about its strategy.
So, because I mean, on one hand, let's close the conversation now, because a lot of professionals that I've spoken with on the program have said intelligence Good. Is the name of the game Good. Right now, and we understand that those U.S. Navy SEALs they had those intelligence even before they touched down on Nigerian soil.
Asymmetric warfare is driven by intelligence. If you don't have the intelligence, forget it. Because it's not a conventional
warfare. The military
warfare.
spokesperson said the local communities were not assisting, were not helping, were not giving them information. So where do we go from here?
Citizens have got to take ownership. Citizens have got to take ownership and be able to assist. Enough of this saying it is their war. It is our war. Boko Haram is everywhere now. You call them headsmen, I call them Boko Haram. You call them kidnappers, I call them Boko Haram. Terrorism, or terrorists rather, okay, move in leaps. All right? Initially what you are seeing will not be what you think it is. The small boys scattered all over our expensive estates, providing guard services and so on to us. As far as I'm concerned, our advanced party of Boko Haram.
We need to close now.
Sending back information.
So you are still insisting on the fact that the intelligence corridor and the top hierarchy need to go?
We have to do an overhaul.
Thank you so much,
and get people into their real befitting positions where we can get the best out of them.
Security consultant and former military officer, Colonel Hassan Stanlabo, thank you indeed for talking to us this Sunday evening.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
But that's our show for today, everyone. Many thanks for being part of it. I'm Sean Kimale. Bye-bye.